Oh.
Hey, we're back. You did it. Fantastic.
It worked. It worked.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with sculptors, carvers, and multi-talented artists from around the world. If you're a fan of the show and you like what we do, let us know in the comment section, and let us know where you're from in the comment section. We do love that. I do love to see where people are watching from.
Yeah.
So, but shall we meet the artist for this episode? This guy below me is a talented artist and sculptor from Tucson, Arizona. My good buddy, it's Mr. Matt Harper. Hey, pal.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. We are happy to be here. Glad to be back. Jeez.
Yes, it's been a while. My name is Paul Dever. I'm an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. And tonight, our guest is a monster maker, multimedia artist, and the man behind Dead Neck Studios. It's Mr. Jordan Patton.
Hey, there he is.
Thanks for having me on.
There's Johnny Pearson.
Big fan. We've been ripping you off for years.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh, wait. Yeah, here we go. We got people already chiming in, although, there we go. Okay. Something's going on. Yeah, we do. Jordan, we can't wait to get into like a million of your, I was telling you before the show started, I got like 50,000 questions for you, but I will, I'll hold off on those until we get rolling here. But
you're moments away, Matt, from just unleashing.
I know. It's so close. Okay. Sorry about that.
Well, welcome to the show, Jordan. It is an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you here with us tonight.
It's awesome to be here with you guys. Thank you.
Look at that. Seriously, look at that, guys. That was unbelievable.
And you can see behind him, and we won't get into it right this second, but behind him, these things are massive and they're ridiculous. And okay, hang on, I got to show it.
That's what people say about you.
I get the ridiculous part, and I guess look at that. Okay, we're going to talk so much about it. It just boggles my mind.
It's crazy. Well, before we get into anything, we do have a couple of steps that we like to run through on the show to keep things in working order. So what we'll do is we'll touch upon last week's challenge. Not last week's, I should say last episode's challenge, which was a robust skull.
Oh, I jumped ahead one. I think we had, you said robust skull?
Yes, robust skull.
I remember doing that one. For some reason, it was not a very exciting wheel spin. Although, skull.
Did you want me to scream while I did it? I can't only. It's just a wheel. I don't know what to do.
I was gonna say, can a skull be robust? I mean,
I was trying to rack my brain with what you guys were gonna do whenever I was watching that episode.
I mean, mission accomplished as far as a really cool skull.
Yeah. I know it just doesn't say robust. It's not fat. I was trying to find a way to make it fat, and I was trying to put like wrinkles in its head to make it. And then I decided to have it like another one busting out of.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. The whole two pumpkin or two skeleton ordeal.
Yeah, I like coming out of the top of his head. So.
I read a definition of robust that said skull inside of skull as well, too. So different meaning.
You read the same thing I read. Okay.
Yes, it was on the Onion.
That's yeah.
It's a great sculpt, though. I love you got really cool depth around the teeth. You know what I'm saying? It's not flat at all. It's really dug in. You obviously had to punch out and clean out the inside of that.
Yeah, that was like the bell part of the bottom of a squash, like where you get the air cavity or whatever it is. And then the top was so long, I didn't want to like hack it off and make. And at that point, I was like, all right, I'm giving up on the fact that it's going to be robust, but I just wanted to do something else on top, not just have it be a lump, or hack it off. So his little buddy's coming out of his head.
It's what I love about when you do this stuff too, though. Like every now and again, you pull out something that is like, how the hell did that come into his mind? And you pull it off. Like it reminds me, it's up there with the ice cream cone.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan, you got to go back in time and dig through our Instagram. He pulled out an ice cream cone out of a squash one time, and it had the waffle cone and everything.
How did you get such a point to your gourd?
Well, it was like this, where I had a really long top, and then if you turn it upside down, it kind of already resembles an ice cream cone. But then, but I made this really extra drippy, like it was dripping on the side. But the part that was really fun was making it into a waffle cone. But
nice.
For the archives.
Well, To answer your question completely, the bell at the bottom is the only place that's hollow on a butternut squash. The rest of it is solid.
Yeah, and so you can
come right down
taper it down to a point if you want.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But that was another challenge where, like, the wheel spin. You're like, how did you get to this like that? But it was one of those things that you just can't. Like, there's no such thing as a robust skull. There's an emaciated skull, or but.
Well, Paul, yours, I think, had a little bit of the. You know what I saw when I saw this is like, remember the one from, what is the movie where it's like they go to the Disney, the recent Disney movie where he goes to the great beyond and they're like mariachi singers and stuff like that. What is his name? Coco. Thank you, Coco. So you know the big Elvisy looking guy that kind of had the big meaty skull. That's what I saw in this. This is like got so many of those cool like bigger features, which is robust.
Thank you. Have you ever seen I tried to go for the wider jaw, but the shape wasn't cooperating up top. So
you ever seen that commercial for like the jaw workout thing? It's like a ball you put in your mouth. And
yes.
Yeah.
Like he's
this guy did
it.
That's about it. I mean, I can't. I could have given him like puffy under eyes, like he was retaining fluid, but it wasn't an easy challenge.
Paul, what I like too is that I was trying to mimic it when I saw yours because you posted first. I was like the way you have the texture in the forehead and like the cheeks looks like bone. I don't know what you did to make it so like bone. I don't know.
I didn't do anything. I did it with the tools and then a scouring pad after.
All right. Well, I'll try that.
I mean, what I mean to say is I can't give away all my secrets, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. But for those of you trying to carve butternut skulls, he's not giving it up. That's what I'm finding.
I hope I don't have to do it again, to be completely honest with you. There's so much digging I think the only place I busted through was like up behind the cheekbones because I was getting up near the bell, but it was just like a soft spot. It wasn't like all the way through. So
now if you want to preserve these things, are you able to like put it in a jar with like vinegar or something? Well, how life after you do that?
I'll show you right. Yeah, why don't we do it now, Manny? Because before we introduce him, what I'll do is hold on. Okay, see that one there?
Yeah.
That guy's 6 years old.
No kidding.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, if he put his hand in there, it'd be like pudding. Like this stuff
just like
it's surprisingly. I'd look at me holding this thing over my head. It's surprisingly firm in spots. Like the body of it's still firm. Like I don't want to touch like the eye sockets or the corners of the nose, but I scanned them already, so I got a decent scan. So I have like these little jars that kind of resemble that one. I kind of might put them in there and submerge them in the clear resin.
Yeah.
Just so I have a little one.
You didn't want to let go of. You're like, you know what? I love this one.
Nah, I was just bored. I really don't want to get rid of it. Now I'm attached. Like an ugly
Paul and I typically hate what we make about 5 minutes after it's done or halfway through starting. Yeah, it's never.
Or the entire time. You're like, oh God, what am I doing?
Yeah, make like
I forget how to do it.
Make a slow motion video, you smashing it on a wall or something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, he leads them to his javelinas out back.
Yeah, I do. I usually give them to the desert, and they find a way to devour them.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've reviewed, we'd like to introduce you to the third member of Carvers Creators, responsible for our carving challenge tonight. It is the center spinner, the Hello Wheel, the reason for our anxiety every time we spin it. Jordan, wheel Jordan. What we're going to do is we're going to spin it twice. First time we spin it is going to be the character that we have to carve into a perishable item. And the second spin will be the attribute or emotion to apply to the first spin. Tonight's choices are avian, thug, guest choice, so have one ready, beast, aquatic, primate, ghoul, alien, zombie, or pirate. Some good choices there.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no more skull, and I took baby off the wheel because I don't have a squash that can look like a baby. The second spin will be tipsy, confused, jolly, guest choice once again, robust, sour, sleepy, chipper, scared, or surprised.
Let's hope we don't land on that guest choice. I'm so bad on the spot.
Oh.
You can pick any of those, or
Yeah, right.
Nutty and show us something behind you, and we have to try that. Yeah.
That's when it lands on guest choice. If somebody's not good on the spot, they pull the parachute pretty quick and go, "What were those choices again?" But anything in the world you want. All right, are you ready, gentlemen? All right, I'm moving the wheel this time because it always lands on the same thing. Primate.
All right.
All right. Okay. Confused primate. Now that's something I can work with. I too am a confused primate.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Right?
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Not really.
I'm putting
nothing about this says confused primate, but I'm going to have to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Something tells me it's going to end up looking like one of those NFTs with the long monkey face.
Oh, yeah.
No choice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dude, you already got that's a great idea.
Well, you notice when you look at a shape, like when you look at clouds, you can see faces and shapes and stuff. And then as soon as I saw primate, it was like, well, I have a different one, but it's all going to lead to the same. Depends. I might halfway through decide I don't want to. I'll chop it in half. You know what I mean? Huh? You'll never figure me out. I'm a conundrum right now. Look at this. Look, Jesus Christ.
You're an enigma.
A loaf of bread.
It does look like a loaf of bread. That's not good.
It really does. Oh, no. Well,
we can't forget our little toast.
Yes, we can't carve yet. The steps continue. There's no way we can carve without doing a toast. It's bad luck. And at our age, we need lubricant for the shoulders and the elbows and the wrists and the fingers and the inspiration. So we need our carving oil. So we'll go around real quick and see what our libation is of the evening. Some people like to hydrate. We've had people that like to take a smoke break. But Matt and I we were beer guys. I think we've switched it up a little bit. We're mature now.
Yeah, fentanyl. That's where pretty much
It's a short show. It's a short show.
Yeah.
I cake it on my face so it just absorbs in.
That's right. Right.
All right. What are you drinking tonight, Matt?
I have a really good whiskey that I'm just gonna try. It's called a Midwinter's Night Dram. It's from High West.
Whoa.
And I mean, you know, I'm creature of habit lately because it's the brown water for me, but I'm getting away from the beer as you are, Paul, as well. So how about what are you having?
This guy?
Yeah. Well, let's go to Jordan. Actually, I know you're probably in the mode of, you know, working and being a responsible adult. So what do you enjoy tonight?
Well, if I was pulling it from the sink, I'd have some brown water as well. But
you are in West Virginia. Okay.
Yeah, I got some high quality or low quality H2O here. So
high quality.
Hydrate, baby. Okay, love it.
Nice. Oh, and me, again, I think it's a good thing to get off the beer for a while because, again, like the loaf of bread that I'll be carving tonight, every time you have a bunch of beers, it's like eating a loaf of bread as far as calorie wise. Got to restrict those calories every now and again. Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Oh, we love Nicole. She's amazing.
She's an amazing artist. All right, so this is going to sound weird, but it's actually delicious. And it's Tito's and aloe vera juice.
Aloe vera.
Dude, I swear to God, I thought the same thing. And then I had a sip and was like,
oh my God.
It got sunny. I was inside, like angels spoke.
I've got some aloe vera plants here. I mean, I could probably squeeze one of those into my water bottle.
Yeah, just like take a big bite.
Listen, guys, make fun of me all you want. I was on that team. I was like, don't even think about buying me that juice. And then my wife bought me the juice, and I was like, I don't know if I can drink anything else. I got to be honest. I'm a one juice kind of guy. This might be it.
Oh my God. And it's aloe vera. You can get that anywhere. I live in Arizona. You can get that, like you walk down the street and it's like, we have got.
There is chunks of aloe vera in it. I got to be honest. Okay. It helps with heartburn. All right.
Okay. Well, enjoy.
You know, and it's delicious. So it's a 2-for-1. I don't know what to tell you. I love it. I'm in love with it.
Well, cheers, guys. Here's a nice little night of carving, creating, and talking about Jordan's stuff,
which is awesome.
Oh,
thank you. Appreciate it. I think I just saw my buddy Jason. He just tuned in here. He's a big supporter of mine.
Oh yeah. So Jason, say what's up. Look at that. Hey, Jason, thanks for tuning in, man.
Heck yeah. And again, if you haven't checked out Nicole's stuff, just please do yourself a favor. I mean,
definitely will. I'm going to be going through so many like the comments and whatnot and checking out so many new.
Oh my God, ridiculous, dude! You're gonna be blown away. All right, I'm just gonna stop.
Every time I look at her stuff too, I'm like, she needs to make one of us. She does the best.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Right.
That would be amazing. Okay. So let's get to, we got so much stuff of yours to look at. I'm just going to go ahead and jump to it because it's bonkers, ridiculous. Yeah. So I have a question for you, maybe out of the gate. So your stuff is extremely, let's try to think of the right adjective, because there's so many to pick from with how, when you look at your stuff, but it's like the exaggerated and so colorful and so like cartoony and you remember the rabbit from the original Twilight Zone movie,
Yeah.
When I see your stuff, I'm thinking of that rabbit with his eyes blowing up. It looks like it's in motion. It's so great, and we're gonna show you a ton of your stuff. But give me your inspiration. What do you get inspired by to make these?
A lot of what started this style for me was I was into tattoo art before I found special effects and mask making and all that. So I was actually, training to be a tattoo artist, and I was really into the whole new school art of things, where it's like very like forced perspective, very characterized creatures, characters, and things like that. So whenever I found mask making and special effects, it kind of just transferred over those inspirations into this, and figured, we'd see where we could take it, bringing those types of designs into the real world. And this is kind of what we ended up with.
You just answered that question perfectly. Somebody must have asked you. That must have been answered 1,000 times, because new school is the exact, that is the perfect answer. That's exactly what it is. You just thank you, because I was trying to think of it too.
Yeah.
It's new school tattoo mask making.
More or less, yeah.
Same thing with the color palettes and everything.
That grew up watching nothing but 90s cartoons and 80s horror movies, and like that is also like heavily inspired into like the idea behind a lot of the characters.
I like see Ren and Stimpy. I see like all kinds of really wild stuff in your work too, like
major Ren and Stimpy inspirations in a lot of the stuff. Like even in my comic book, the gross ups that they would do in Ren and Stimpy, I kind of
oh my God. Wait, tell me the name again. A gross up? Is that when they do the zoom in and it's just the one shot of the hair
and out of the mouth?
Got this.
Oh my God, yes.
Here, so instead of doing like a detailed like oil painting, like what they would do, we made a physical box here. My fiance and me, we made this box, and it's like a good 2 or 3 feet wide by like 2 feet tall, and it's got a physical mouth in it. And then my friend Joe, he does all of my photography, and mind-blowing stuff. His lighting and photo work is great, but he does all of our photography for things like that. And then we use those for inserts in our comic book here as like gross ups.
Like this.
Yeah,
like
exactly. That guy right there. Yep.
This.
And then we had got another one here. That's the Ma character. So we laid her out on our bed, and Joe took photos of her. She's supposed to be snoozing there, getting her beauty sleep. So just a lot of inspirations from those cartoons growing up.
How fun. And then the color palettes you choose. I mean, like let's take a look at this one. So this could be anything, right? But not only are the teeth like almost anatomically perfect, but like the color is really awesome. And do you test a bunch of stuff out before you make a final thing, or are you just like, this is going to be blue with purple and that's it?
A lot of my fiance painted that one. She's been killing the paint jobs lately. Like,
oh my gosh,
together. But when it comes to those types of paint jobs, like a lot of it are like the dead neck colors, and a lot of that consists of purple, green, and then that orangey yellow color. So like those are like my 3 main color palettes for like this world of things. And then every now and then you'll get like the blues thrown into it and whatnot. But I try to keep them within the same world without trying to get too repetitive with our paint schemes.
Okay.
So we just kind of move things around here and there, but keep them in the same like 3 to 4 color range.
Yeah, but it ties it all together, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and it makes it a dead neck. Makes it your like recognizable every time.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So dead neck came to you out of the blue, because it seems like such an obvious thing that nobody thought of, and you nailed it.
Oh, like the name itself?
The name, yeah.
Redneck Zombies. Yeah, I actually pulled it from, I think there were comics, Army of Darkness comics that was like Dead Necks versus Hellbillies or something like that. I looked around online a little more to see if anyone had ever used the word dead neck anywhere. And I was like, well, it seems like this could be used. And it's like right up the alley with, what I'm doing with these redneck zombies. So just kind of coined that and ran with it.
Yeah, oh, you should trademark it.
Oh, yeah.
I got a few copyrights here and there, but
there you go.
Trademark is pretty expensive.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll work on that one though. That one's coming up.
So cool. And then wait, just to get a gauge of size, I think we touched on this at the beginning. Let's just go to behind you there. Let's just kind of get a gander. So these you don't have to pick, oh wow, you pick them up. All right. Look at that. So talk to us. How does it start? This is all clay at the beginning.
Yeah, with these oversized guys, when I created those, I was working at a place called Tech Shop, and they had like a full range, like welding shop, machine shop, wood shop, and all of that. So for the understructures for these oversized guys, I actually welded together a steel frame in the shape of each one of them. That way they'd be able to hold the weight of the clay whenever I was putting it on there. So each one of these guys had a welded together steel frame, and then through that, I kind of went through and filled those steel frames with expanding foam, wrapped those in wire, put wood screws in those so it would bite onto the clay. And then from there, I went with some wet clay and just started hashing them out.
Jesus. You talk like somebody that's been on Face Off a couple times.
Yeah, you got to have good thought process for that.
Yeah, hashing it out. Yeah. Speaking of Face Off,
right?
Good. Oh, look at you. You and your, what do you call those when you do a
lead in?
A
segue.
Or a segue. We'll call it a segue. So we've got a couple of shots of stuff you did from the show. I believe that was one.
My dentist character from season 13 of Face Off. So we lucked into having a more like lighthearted challenge where you could kind of make a cartoony character. And I was like, wow, this is right up my alley. So with that, we actually had it was for monsters under the bed or that had day jobs. So we actually had to like crawl under a bed and find our inspiration item. And luckily I was first to find my inspiration item. I found this big set of dentures underneath of it. And I was like, okay, it's like we can work with that. I'd love to make like a big toothy monster. And that's pretty much what I went with, was just making a massive mouth creature.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's so in your style too. I absolutely love it.
I was so pumped to do that character. Unfortunately, we had to incorporate a gag with that character, but my gag didn't quite work well. The tongue that's hanging out of him there was supposed to be rolled up, and when they would tilt their head back, the jaw would open up a little bit and the tongue would roll out. But I only had so much time on application day to work on the tongue because I got my foam back. They send your foams out the night before to get run by an outside shop. We get them back the next day. Well, unfortunately, my cowl had a bunch of steam pockets in it that I had to go through and fix and patch, and that took up a good 3 hours of my application that day.
Oh, man.
Okay. But luckily, that thing was basically like a giant mask. So when it came to applying it to my model, it was basically just like flip the sucker on, glue the upper set of teeth to it. But unfortunately, the tongue got cast up too thick, so I wasn't able to roll it up and put it in the head.
That's spoken like a guy who did that show. Like, I don't even know what air bubbles are.
It's messed up.
I love it.
Thank you.
They should have been on the hook for that.
Yeah, that's not your fault.
We ran the foam.
No. They usually do a pretty good job at running the foam. I probably got my mold cleaned out too late in the day, and it probably still had too much moisture in it when they got a hold of it.
Yeah, me and Matt say that all the time.
I just say it's their fault. They
we'll run with that.
Yeah. we got this one here.
That was a fun one. That was leading right into the finale for season 13. And with season 13, like anytime that you would win a challenge, on the next challenge, you would get the help of an industry professional. So at the beginning of this challenge, I got the help of Todd Masters when it came to designing and sculpting this. I was beyond pumped about that. So like to get to sit there with Todd for like the first 2 hours of the challenge and just kind of pick his brain on the cool things that he's worked on while working together. Like that's a challenge that I'll always remember. So, and then
that's awesome. Such a cool guy.
With that challenge, I actually ended up winning the vampire challenge with that character, and that's what put me into the finale of season 13. So yeah, that one will always hold a special place with me.
Nice.
Yeah, we are such big Todd Masters fans. We had the absolute honor of bringing him hang out on our show. But one of the things that we found was like, you can't like mention a story without him having, oh yeah, and I know this person and that person, and he has a story about everybody that like just blows your mind about, because we're the same in that we saw a lot of the same old, 80s, 90s horror films and stuff like that. He made them. He was like part of doing that. It's like, oh my God, of course.
The 2 hours that we had him there flew by so quick just because like I just loved sitting there talking to him about the things that he'd worked on.
Yeah, so good. Couple more. I know this was an amazing sculpt.
That's probably my favorite makeup that I've ever gotten the opportunity to do.
Unreal.
We started off with that one. We got an aquatic challenge where we were supposed to make a sea monster based off of some inspirations that were on a board in front of us. And my monster kind of was a toothy, bony looking fella. And like, one of my favorite sea creatures is the anglerfish. So I gravitated to that. And I was like, dude, I've always wanted to make an angler monster. And here's the opportunity to do so.
So good.
But then they threw the twist on us. They're like, all right, your characters are actually going in a massive tank. So you have to seal all of them. And, all of these prosthetics, are foam latex. So it's just going to suck in water like a sponge.
Oh my God.
So we had to formulate, certain things to seal these off with before they'd go in. Otherwise they get bogged down, rip open, all that bad stuff.
Do you when you say reformulate, do you get help behind the scenes of like what you need to do?
The nice thing about the water challenge at the very beginning of that season, we were talking to Michael Westmore, and it was just like a super quick thing. He was like, if you ever need to seal things up, if it's going in water, you can do this, this, and this. And, it was like a combination of Prozaid, balloon latex, and then maybe like another layer of like Zero-Tac Prozaid or something like that. But yeah, we wrote those things down in our get together with Michael Westmore. And, it came into play around episode, I think it was 7 or 8 on that season.
Do you think he dropped that on purpose? Do you think that was
a little precursor?
More than likely, yeah. I'm sure he had the set list, so to speak, of, what was going down that season.
Wow. If you ever have to set something on fire and run from it, you might want to.
Maybe not on the show, but definitely in person. Yeah. I've set a few fires.
Yeah. Well, I got one more, and just the face-off stuff. This one,
right on.
Bellhop, or I guess.
Yeah. So that one was
that's got you written all over it.
So cool.
Yeah, that one was for a fun little challenge where we had to come up with a character for a hotel. I guess the 13th floor had been haunted, and each of the staff of the hotel had gone missing. So we had to make a ghost that was inspired by whatever character that we had picked off the board. And I got Bellhop, and the whole inspiration behind her was whatever she saw on the 13th floor just like scared her to death, and like the expression was just like froze on her face. So
yeah.
So more or less, once again, I could get away with sculpting a mask versus a makeup just to kind of be able to get that style into it. But that was a fun one. I really enjoyed doing that one.
God, it totally works. Totally works. And I think, and again, I can't stop looking behind you. You're handsome as hell, but like what in the in the masks and the creatures and the expressions. And I think I mentioned this right before we came on, but like Paul and I routinely will go and troll your like we're trying to carve one of these things, and all of a sudden like I need the eyes, I need the nose, I need the little fold here or there, and so we'll go look at all it because it's so see, that's the thing. It's like Paul and I always talk about like the human eye knows, if this is okay, well that doesn't work, that works just on a face. Right. But yours all carry over, as exaggerated as they are, they carry. And it's like such an amazing ability to be able to have that. You can make the dentist and have it just be the mouth, and it's a character. It's
Thank you. Appreciate
it. Enamored by it.
You were talking earlier about the Twilight Zone rabbit, and I've got this guy here, and I made this is a second coming of this character. I had actually made I had an animatronics class whenever I was at the Art Institute, and my very first animatronic, I made this giant blue jackalope, and it was inspired by that rabbit from the Twilight Zone movie. So now this guy's kind of become one of my characters in the Deadnecks world. His actual character color is blue, but this one I did white. It was a gift from my fiance for Christmas one year.
Incredible.
But yeah, he's the second coming of the animatronic. So I've got his underskull and like the mechanics down in the basement somewhere.
So what are we looking at from a material? So it looks relatively light. Is that like latex, foam, and
yeah. He's latex and foam, and then he's got real deer antlers. I got those off of my brothers because they hunt yearly. Okay. And luckily, they are kind enough to give me their smaller racks that they get that'll work out for my characters.
Okay. So
and he's got like dental acrylic teeth, and then I've laid like a felt fur over top of him.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just I'm trying to figure out like what they're all made of, because it's so fun to see the final piece, and then like in my mind I want to touch it, and then if I touch it, is it going to be soft? Is it going to be rigid? Is it going to it's like I'm trying to like get my head around it. But
yeah, no, usually at like Mask Fest or shows like that, people will be like, can I touch this? I'm like, yeah, poke him away. And they're usually surprised at like what is soft on them, what's hard on them. They're like, I didn't know what was what on these things.
Yeah.
It's like that guy there, he's another latex and polyfoam filled bust, but then he's got dental acrylic eyeballs. Yeah, and then he's got latex teeth as well.
Oh, so cool. Do you do your own eyes too?
Yeah.
Teeth?
Yeah, so my buddy, I don't know if you guys know Fourth Seal Studios.
Yeah.
Tim. Yeah, me and Tim went to the Art Institute at the same time. We were in the same eyes and teeth class and everything. And he's refined his craft so well over the years, and it's awesome to see where he's gone with that. But I've even picked his brain over the years because he's developed so many new techniques and things, and I've got several kits off of him for running the cores and the overmolds for them, and then I'll usually just hand paint them up and then run them through those molds. But yeah, it's a fantastic product, that's for sure.
So tell us about Art Institute. So like, when did you go there, and like what's that program like? I know that they've got amazing stuff. Where were you physically? Where were you in?
We were at the Art Institute in Pittsburgh. I went there in 2009, and then graduated from there in 2012. They're gone now. The place went under for fraudulent.
Yeah. But they learned you real good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, as long as you pay attention in your classes and give it your all, like you're definitely going to take away whatever you put in, more or less.
Yeah, for sure.
So there was a good select few of us that went hard when we were there and just like tried to learn everything we could.
Yeah.
But you're also learning something that you love and that you want to do. So
sure.
how is that even that's the best thing ever.
We had a blast, like just constantly pushing each other, working late at night, making creatures together in our fume-filled basements.
Nice. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of I'm assuming because you've done movie stuff, did you get like good connections through that network of people you worked with at Art Institute?
Yeah. I mean, constantly it seems like I'll start to get to the end of a project and then something new pops up, and it just kind of like domino effects from there, luckily enough to where we don't have a whole lot of downtime where we're wondering, oh crap, what are we going to do? Like somehow, I don't know how, but somehow there's always work coming in right at the end of another project, and it usually lines up very nicely, and I'm incredible for that and hope that continues.
And I know you do shows pretty commonly, right? So tell me about like when you go, where you go, and like, I mean, you can see some of his specific stuff here. Right on, tell us about shows you go to.
This one here, this is probably the main show that I've been doing. I've probably been doing Mask Fest, Horror Hound Weekends Mask Fest for I think 10 years now. This will be my 10th year maybe. It's a great show. So many people coming through. It's so cool to talk to everyone. sales are great. Like to see everyone else's artwork and everything is fantastic. Catch up with old friends, meet new friends. Like it's really a good show to go to. And it used to be in Indianapolis. I believe it's run through Cincinnati now is where the Mask Fest is residing at this point in time.
Okay. And so it's one location each year for that place? It doesn't travel? Because I know some of them travel, right? I
think Horror Hound does twice a year, but I believe it's both in Cincinnati at the convention center or the Marriott.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, super great show, great people. Another show that I do that I've been doing at least the past 3 years is it's called Pale Fest. My friend AJ puts it on in Chillicothe, Ohio. But that's been a nice growing one lately. Very fun. It's like a metal and mask, metal music and mask
nice
festival. So it's really cool to see like different types of artistry, being through audio, visual, and just meeting awesome people and hanging out with a lot of cool friends that you've been friends with online for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another great show that's gonna just blow through the roof one of these days. It's been growing more and more every year.
Paul and I have gone to Monsterpalooza the last few years, and kind of that's the only taste we know of. But it's a little different than a Mask Fest. But I can see every one of those having sold like 3 times over on the first day. I mean, Paul, I don't know. We walk around a little bit and get to like go, oh my God, I want that, and you're like, okay, I'll be back, and you come back and it's gone. I mean, it's like this stuff. Have you ever done Monsterpalooza?
I've been to Monsterpalooza a few times back when the Face Off stuff was going around.
For sure. Yeah, while you're out there.
The area at the time, or would come back to the area because of that. But I've never actually vended or tabled at Monsterpalooza. I've wanted to. It's just a matter of planning accordingly, shipping my stuff out there ahead of time, and then getting myself out there in time for it.
Yeah, that's a big ask, especially when you have a lot of stuff to ship. That's wildly expensive.
It would be cool to get out there and finally, do that show, even if it's just one time. Like it'd be cool. I haven't seen a lot of my LA friends in years, probably since like 2018. So that'd be a nice refresher as well.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's so much fun because you literally get to see you get to geek out on
all your Face-Off friends.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
they're all there. Yeah. So tell us about this, because this is your card. We touched on it for a brief second.
This right here is a artwork piece done by my good friend Mark Nosler. This was for our banner this year at Pale Fest, the festival that I was talking about that my friend AJ puts on. So he did. It was the 3rd year for Pale Fest, and it was called Pale Fest 3D. So Mark Nosler, he actually went through and did a banner for each of the main vendors there that were supposed to be able to correspond with a pair of 3D glasses, like as people were walking around. So Mark just asked me, for a quick idea on what I would want my banner to look like, and then he ran with it and came up with this absolutely amazing piece right here. Like I got half a mind to just give all my ideas to Mark and have him do.
Yeah, run with it.
Yeah, no, he killed it on this. I couldn't have been happier with what he came up with. Even like the little sayings and everything that are on it, like that was him coming up with that, and it was so cool.
And even your rabbits got your jackalope's got a preeminent spot there.
Yeah, he's hanging there on the wall. But the comic, it's been in the works now for several years. We've got issue 1 out there now. It's called Pest Control, and it's about this little fly character I've actually got right here. He's like this little drunken asshole of a character.
Come on, he's sitting right here.
Jeez, yeah, trucker hat.
Oh, dynamite.
Oh my God.
He's got his tiny little bottle of whiskey here. But yeah,
oh my God.
He's kind of the antagonist character in our first comic. And yeah, so I mean, it took like 5 years to make this one comic. I'm hoping to have the rest of them done out. I've got 8 planned out for the first series, and I've got the second one in the works right now. I've got it all storyboarded out, and the antagonist character in the second one is actually the jackalope character here. And he's like, the pest of the property, and jackalope season comes up, and calamity ensues on that. But constantly trying to work on that, you know, along with doing the commission jobs and everything. So the commission jobs kind of slow down the dead neck stuff every now and then, but you know, I can't complain about that because it keeps the work coming in. And, you know, I love that. I love working on all kinds of different projects. So I'm very grateful for, you know, everything that comes my way.
Where do we get like one of those? I mean, like where are you going to put the comics when we can we get them?
I have a lot of my stuff like merch and things like that for sale at deadneckstudios.com.
Okay.
The comic is currently out of stock. I need to get several more of those printed. I get those printed through a company, Morris Publishing. I get those done through.
Come on, Morris. Let's go.
Online,
Step it up, Morris.
I need to put in another order with them. I've done 200 copies sold so far, but I need to get an extra 100 of them printed costs a little chunk of change. So I just need to shell that out there to get them in.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I know you have the comic books planned, but when are we seeing the live action?
Oh,
the
man.
15-minute short YouTube videos.
I've got we put together a short trailer back probably like 2016, so that you can find like a small trailer of the live action stuff on YouTube. Because we tried to do like a Kickstarter and it was successful. Like we raised money, but after we delivered all of our rewards and everything, we were left with a very small amount. And what we put that amount towards was, you know, at this point, we actually had a lot of things fall through whenever we got our rewards delivered. We lost our warehouse space, lost my job at Tech Shop where I had a lot of these places going. So we kind of had to reroute things and put that money towards getting the comic made because it was more self-contained.
All right.
You can kind of get the story out there now. But yeah, the initial plan was to go full live action with this and you know, have it be like the show Dinosaurs back in the 80s.
Oh my God, yeah.
So that it felt like, you know, you're watching a cartoon, but it is all live action. It's all happening in front of you. It is puppets, characters in animatronic suits, makeups, things like that. Yeah, so I mean, you know, if I had the budget for it, I would, you know, still be going that route. But it's kind of things have gone a different route here. So we're trying to get the comics put out so we can maybe pitch that to someone bigger later down the line to hopefully get it picked up and funded.
I think we need another Kickstarter.
And we need. I want
to see another Kickstarter. I want to see this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna fund that with a big, you know, some group's gonna pick up the, you know, that. We'll just call it Netflix or whoever, you know, Netflix. And then we're gonna get you and Creature Kid together.
Right on.
And do something silly, like,
dude.
I'm telling you, man. There's.
Yeah, no. If we, I'm sure we could definitely make it happen as a live action in a much quicker pace.
So you have all your characters for the Dead Necks with opposable moving parts, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got. Whenever I was working, I was teaching at the Tom Savini School for a little while, and lucky enough, I was teaching the animatronics class there. So every semester, so that I would have a visual aid to show the students while it's being made, I would make a new Dead Necks character right in front of them so that they could follow along the process and make their animatronics along with me. So the several semesters that I was doing that, I made like 3 or 4 different Dead Necks animatronics, and they were usually the antagonist characters, so that while doing this comic, I could make my own shorts and more or less like commercials to help promote it. That way you can kind of get a taste of the 2D side of it, the artwork and the story, as well as the 3D side where you see the animated characters actually moving and interacting with each other. So, you know, it's just, it's a lot for, you know, one or 2 people to do. So it's kind of a slow burner, but it'll get there someday.
It's gonna get there. I know it's gonna get there. Yeah. It's got all the right parts.
Thank
you. Appreciate it. It's about
got the characters, and people love practical effects. I'm sorry, but like, you know, sorry if you're into AI and CG. I'm such a practical effects person. When I see somebody who's like putting all that effort in making it physically, you know, the eyes blinking, it's like, I'd rather watch that than something that is a little bit more realistic, you know, but like fools the eye. Every time. every time.
lose the soul in it whenever you start going,
It is. It's like it becomes a person. It becomes a thing you want to care about. It's not just like this. Okay, well, okay. What am I watching? Doc McStuffins or something like that. It's I don't know. I'd rather watch Teletubbies than Doc McStuffins.
Hey, yeah, you got the real side of things there.
They're real. Even the vacuum. Oh, sorry. I digress.
I digress.
We got
let's show some of these. There we go. Look at
more to show.
Fun one, yeah. That's our character Ted Slackjaw. He's the uncle character for my Pumpkin Patch Pete character. A lot of them are family in the Deadnecks world when it comes to the Deadnecks themselves, just because it's based off of the redneck living. So you gotta have your family.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, that's my friend Aaron actually in the suit there. He was the character for that. Whenever we were filming the trailer and whatnot, we grew up together. Always,
Oh, so that's fully life size. That's actually
that's a full suit on my buddy there. That was always a good time. That was when we had our set in a shared warehouse space with a friend, and then that's unfortunately the set that we lost when the tech shop went under. But we got the memories and the good times, and
right, and the experience, and all adds up.
You still have all the costuming and
majority of it, yeah. I've got the cake there for him. I've got the original head for him as well. The costume. It's hard for me to get rid of a lot of this stuff because I'm like, I'll need it again in the future, and it usually just sits in the corner and collects dust until I'm ready to use it again.
Yeah, but every time you're looking for it, you know where it is.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Need a little inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can people who commission you will be like, I remember you did a little, that the guy with the cake. I want that. I mean, I'm assuming these probably have price tags on them. If you need to get rid of it.
Yeah. No, if anyone's ever interested in any of the stuff they see, I don't get rid of a lot. So I've got the molds for a lot of this stuff sitting in my several thousand pounds worth of plaster rocks on shelves in my basement.
That's why we don't do that. That's why Paul, right? And that why we stay with pumpkins, because they rot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I have a tiny portion of my basement that I'm allowed to have fun in. And I have 2 molds that I've made, and I stub my toe or shin at least once a month trying to get around it. And our buddy John Fuller says, I'm always saying, do you still have the mold for this? Do you still have the mold for that? And he's like, where would I keep these? I have to get rid of these molds at some point.
Yeah. Yeah,
can't last forever.
So much. I couldn't imagine him still having all of his molds.
Oh my God, he makes a thing a day.
He's fast.
Mm-hmm.
So fast.
How long? So what's your process like? How long does it take you to bust out one of these?
Depends on how motivated I am. If I'm super motivated, I'll lose sleep over it, and I'll just powerhouse through it until it gets done. Just because I can't stop thinking about it. I literally won't be able to sleep because I'm sitting there. All right, the next process on it is this, and then I'll do this, and then this, and then I eventually just get out of bed and go downstairs and work on it.
Isn't that such a good feeling, though?
Yeah.
It's literally motivated and just get up and go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This one here. This was.
Hold on, before you say anything. This would scare the shit out of a kid. This is it's whimsical, cartoony, and new school, but it's scary as hell.
Yeah. That was back whenever we were filming the trailer for the Kickstarter that we were doing. So the trailer itself is maybe 3 minutes long, if even. But it just kind of showcases quickly each character in a short scenario and then blends into another scenario just to showcase some of the characters. But, we were on our own budget out of our own pocket. So it's not, the highest of quality, but that's what we were doing the Kickstarter for, is to hope that we could, take it further. But, in the future, it'll get there. But that's myself and my friend Aaron. We were acting as the characters in the trailer.
Oh, so you're the one in the long johns then?
Yeah.
With the gun. Okay. Dude, I love the gun. That's really awesome.
Yeah. Even the accessories. I love it.
Yeah. No, thank you. It was very cold working in that warehouse because I think they had heat, but they didn't want to turn it on because it was kind of a bigger space, and we were doing a lot of this shit in the dead of winter. So
okay,
we do this makeup on ourselves and whatnot while it's freezing cold. So I'm standing there like getting my neck done and like putting this glue on and everything. And we're just like doing everything we can just to get the shots. But yeah, it's torturing yourselves for the sake of the art.
That's it.
A labor of love.
Yeah, for sure. That's good old Ma Slackjaw.
Oh, that's the mom.
Hole in her neck there with the cigarette in it.
Oh, that's awesome. A tray coal.
Yeah. Yeah. The good old beer curler cans in her.
Curlers, yeah. Oh my god.
She's got to get her beauty sleep.
But her teeth look okay though. At least
yeah, and they're doing all right. The few that she's got.
And the references are spot on too, like the beer cans for curlers. That's
yeah,
so good.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
So I don't know. Did you pull this from anywhere where you live now? Like, I mean, in West Virginia, I'm sure you can kind of go to any place around, you know, in the rural areas, you probably see some of that.
Come from growing up, you know, in the area and whatnot, and the crazy shit you see at Walmart at 2 a.m. whenever you could be there.
And they just hit the exaggeration button a little bit, and next thing you're
exactly. You know, with living where I did and growing up with the Ren and Stimpy, Rocco's Modern Life, and all that. It as the things that I create are essentially a meat grinder. They just like stuffed all the things that I watched growing up into my head, and they flow out through my hands, and that's what you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
You lucky bastard to be able to do that. What a cool gig.
This has got to be a neighbor. Look at the bottom teeth. I love that, and he's got the little twigs sticking out plus the teeth.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's just every bit of it.
Paul Slackjaw right behind me here. So that one was another freezing cold photo shoot that we did with my buddy Joe, and we were doing the shoot and everything, and we were like, we want the blast to be coming out of the gun because it's supposed to look like it got plugged up and it flowered up because it blasted, and we were like, well, we don't want to edit in the actual fire. Right. We want everything to be as practical as possible in these. So we got online super quick while we're freezing our asses off out here in winter doing this. And we were like, does anyone have sparklers? Does anyone have any sparklers that we can use? And luckily someone that Joe knew had some. So we loaded up in his car, went off, got the sparklers, came back, jumped back in the costume, went up there into the back of the yard, and we got the shot. But yeah, it was. I'm
telling you, photography is like makes this so perfect. The moon in the back.
Dude,
the every bit of it in the perspective
is fantastic at the photography, the lighting.
Unreal.
This type of photography is not even his specialty. Like what he specializes in is it's called wet plate collodion, and it's like tintypes is what they're called. It's like the old school photography that you see with the big like accordion looking cameras and
tintype. Gunpowder off to the side.
Yeah, exactly. So he has basically perfected that art, and the amount of detail that man captures in that process is insane. And like he travels around, he decked out a van to be like a traveling photo studio, and he would travel the United States doing all these different events and stuff like that. But he loves getting together with me and doing these shots because it's always just a good time, always just messing around, seeing what we end up with.
It's nice to be able to catch all your detail and all the hard work with a great picture like that too, because it lasts forever. I mean,
yeah, no doubt. Because like I can't take a photo like this, and to be able to showcase my work in this manner is like
so good.
I'll forever be grateful to the man.
So good.
Yeah, that's up to Joe. Hey Joe, make your way around to like Boston or Salem around Halloween, so I don't have to take a picture with my iPhone.
Yeah.
Sure. We need pumpkin pictures that good. I don't know if that's possible, but.
Yeah.
Pumpkin. Oh, pumpkin. I said pumpkin.
I thought this was a painting at first.
So did I.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. That's
major compliment both for myself and Joe. Like this was actually the first character photo that Joe had done with me with one of my characters, and it's honestly, I think it might be my favorite one.
It's unbelievable.
This is my favorite character out of the Deadnecks. And he's kind of like the main character of the Deadnecks world.
Yeah.
A lot of the series is focused around this character.
The candy corn teeth, the pumpkin head that's coming apart, like the rot. The skin, the wrinkle. Every bit of it. So good.
Thank you. It was a very fun character to come up with and to build. And fun fact on this guy is I'm in the works with another friend of mine to help bring this guy into figure land as a legit official Dead Next figure. We're going to start off with 500 of them, I believe, produced, but he is working with another digital artist at the moment to get the toy itself rendered together as like a posable ordeal. And then he's
what size are you talking about, Jordan? Like how big?
That guy, I think we're thinking of like a 5 to 6 inch tall figure in like a blister pack, like a styled blister pack, like you'd see at the stores.
Yeah.
The backer of the card is going to be Pumpkin Patch Pete's origin story as to how he got the jack-o'-lantern mask on his head. So that'll be another fun little venture to take on.
Oh, fun.
What a great idea to follow up, like as you figure out how you're going to get the live action made.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's like you putting them. It's like Disney. When Disney did the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, they put out the merch before they even had the movie made.
If I didn't have such an awesome support group of people like buying my stuff and like just being interested in my stuff, I wouldn't be able to continue to create this world of things. So that's another thing that I'm just like forever grateful for, is just anyone even being remotely interested in this stuff enough to help me out with this and to help keep it rolling and keep the creations coming. So
yeah,
thank you to everyone who has, helped along the way.
I love when we meet artists, and we do get to meet a lot of them that create these backstories, and you have such a, it's your kids, it's your creative children. You created this world, and I love it. I love the backstories, and it's so dynamite. I love the toy thing too. I gotta be honest.
When you hold it in your hand and you know the backstory and it's part of a larger story in a universe, it's even more real.
And I know the two of you have done this in the past when we used to have things like Toys R Us or toy stores, and you would walk in and immediately go to the action figure aisle and just nerd out on the details of everything.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I waited in line. Well, I shouldn't say waited in line. I was the only one. I waited for Toys R Us to open one morning when Austin Powers came out.
Oh, yeah.
And McFarlane released the Fat Bastard toy. And there's like one in each box delivered to the store. And I opened the box.
Oh.
I just replaced the batteries the other day.
You still have the Fat Bastard figure.
Yeah. And he still says, sorry, I farted.
Sorry, I farted.
So good.
I love it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So like action figures is where it's at. You could have like a huge cult following with that.
For sure. I would love to. Funny thing is that I think that character there is going to be the second action figure if the first one does well. That character is coming next.
Look at that. We talked about an ice cream cone earlier.
Ice cream cones where we started. Now we're wrapping with an ice cream cone. This is so magical.
That character's that's scary as hell too.
I know, that cheek. And I actually absolutely love this fold that goes up under his eye and becomes like his cheekbone, which is just all meat.
Right on.
Oh, I love that.
This character here has multiple like stories and fun backstories to him. He's inspired a lot by the weird kidnapper guy in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
wow.
He catches kids with a net, and like he just always looked so freaky. He had that the long nose and whatnot.
Yep.
A lot of that character was inspired by him, and he is, he does kidnap children in the world of Dead Next, and he turns them into these wild food-related creations, like dessert-related creations. Like there was that character with the cake monster coming out of his stomach.
Yeah.
That is a byproduct of this man here, and he's kind of like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner with Pumpkin Patch Pete. Like he's constantly trying to catch Pete to turn him into, this weird, wild pumpkin spice creation. So many inspirations throughout these things, and it's hard to verbalize a lot of them sometimes.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that you have this whole world.
And then this character here, he was actually created because I was contacted for Face Off the first time. They were like, hey, you should try out for the show. We'll fly you out to Burbank for the trial period. And, while you're here, you have to create a character on yourself. You have to do a full makeup on yourself to try and get on the show. So I busted this out as fast as I could, like, and I tried to do it under face-off time constraints so that, you know, I could prepare for the show if I were to make it on. And then I took the makeup and everything, the clothes, out to Burbank and applied this on myself out there. And that's what got me on my first season of Face Off.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. That's like a side story in and of itself, like a little bit about the artist.
So is this picture you in the costume then?
It is, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yep, that was another freezing cold time inside of the good old warehouse. And
you got to move south. You got to come down where it's nice and warm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think where you are is called nice and warm. It's called.
No, that's yeah. We're already like surface of the sun, and it's like the only far, so. We got one more, and then we get actually a revamp of this one, but this is the full back.
The composition though, that's insane.
Yeah, you get the wide frame there. The funny thing with this one was, like, we were trying to figure out things that you would have in your redneck living room while you're sitting around watching TV. So like we went out to KFC. We got a KFC bucket of chicken. So there's like a full bucket of chicken sitting there next to it that we would like periodically actually snack on while we were shooting this. And I just painted the bucket up to, you know, have the dead neck stripes on it.
Dead neck colors, yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually, there's a fast food chain in the world of dead necks called Honky's Drive-In, and their signature is the purple and yellow stripes there. So like a lot of the food in the world of dead necks comes from Honky's.
Oh, love it.
Love it.
The backstory, that's the best part. I hate to say it, but we're at time. Paul, before we go, I want to check in on what you're making there.
That's looking
still
awesome.
Blocking. Okay. Trying to play with. Look at that. I mean,
so cool.
I'm approaching Middle Earth. This is all solid though. It's solid till about down here, so I'll be fine. I think I'm gonna move all this back. I don't know if I'll do hair, like maybe use this bulged for hair.
Oh yeah.
Right, I gotta save some for ears too. You know, that's what's gonna make it a friend.
That's so cool. You guys flesh these shapes out so quickly. It's awesome.
Well, you put us under a lot of pressure here. Seriously,
do it now.
I'm like,
gotta happen. Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot on camera because my dog knocked on camera, but this is where we've gotten so far.
Whoa!
So he's
through the mouth area.
Well, it's not very focused, but
no, I can see it.
No, I can.
He's got that. He's got that confused look. I'm kind of going with that first, and then he'll eventually be a primate. But
very cool.
It's got some great shadows right now.
If I get hungry, I'll just take a big chomp out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this is where you can find Jordan's stuff, Dead Neck Studios. And I mean, anywhere else besides Instagram? Or I know you've got your site, but does it all signs point to there from Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is the main spot where I try to stay up to date with posting everything that I'm going on, whether it be on the story or on the actual my actual page itself. But there's a link at the top of my Instagram page where you can find the store. It's just deadneckstudios.com. Everything I post on Instagram goes to my Facebook, my personal Facebook. So I treat that like a business as well. You hardly ever see anything from my actual personal life because I don't really have much of one. Putting everything and time into this stuff. But
yeah, this is your personal life right here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole family. It's the Dead Necks.
Yeah, for sure.
Chat with them.
At some point soon, I need to get my YouTube channel figured out a little better so I can actually start making kind of webisodes more or less and kind of bring people along for the ride of the process of making some of this stuff. And maybe that kind of engagement will bring more people to the table and up the interest with all this stuff.
Oh my God, there's so much, and I know there's a lot more between the cartoon, but then I want to now check out your episodes on Face Off because there's all those makeups, and anyway, I'm a huge fan of that. I just wish they'd bring it back. It was such a cool show. I know it's kind of unrealistic, and we won't go down that path, but as to the amount of hours it takes to do this stuff, but it's really cool. It's a really cool. I'm assuming like a on the job training for the stuff you do now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like being on the show, it was kind of like going off to a special effects summer camp Like you got to hang out with a bunch of friends, like, because that was the cool thing about it. Like, yeah, we were competitive, but we were also all really good friends. Like, all loved talking about this stuff 24/7, hanging out at the house, in the shop, helping each other out if anything came up where someone needed help opening a mold or whatever. So I mean, it was just a good time being out there. So like, I'll forever be grateful for that opportunity. The friends that I made with that, the characters that I got to create, you know, on someone else's dime to throw in front of America.
That's part, probably.
That's great. Yeah.
You know, I just try to take away, you know, as much of the positive things that I could from it.
Oh, awesome. I love it. Love it.
Well, listen, we'd love to have you back again. You know, we say this to all our guests. We'd love to get some carving tools in your hand. See how you feel about carving a squash or a pumpkin.
That'd be awesome. Next time I'm on with you guys, I will 100% sit there and carve it out with you.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I would love to take spin the wheel, figure out what we're doing, and then just try to rack our brains around.
I'll let you pick. We'll even let you pick every single of one of the things, the attributes, and whatever lands on. Well, okay, maybe I'm speaking. Sorry,
he's got some.
That's how bad I want him to carve with us. That's okay.
Yeah. All right. So you'll put me and you will be like, how the hell are we supposed to do that?
We'll get third and fourth place. He'll get the first two.
Right. He'll get first and second.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much again for joining us. We appreciate it. It's been so much fun getting to hang out with you and see your amazing work. Thank you for everybody that tuned in tonight. Some of our favorite artists are watching because they like your stuff so much. That's another episode of Carvers and Creators. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. And we'll see you guys next time on Carvers and Creators.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It was great hanging with you.
So much fun.
You're the best. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it.